motivation behind racing, especially like when you don't have to? You have a bye.
I mean, I need races. Everybody knows I started the season late due to injury, so I just need as many races as possible. After the 100 in London, me and my coach were like, I mean, we might as well. You know, it's a free race. It's good competition. You might as well take it.
And how's your body feeling? How's your health?
It's kind of been up and down this week. Kind of just dealing with like some unexpected things. I don't know if it was due to traveling or whatever, but just some stuff popping up but now it's like getting back into form. My warm-ups are going great. Practices have been great. I just need more races. I got to get that engine firing and get that urgency into my body.
How did you feel about the race today?
The race today? And my first 5 meters wasn't exactly what I wanted it to be, but that's just, again, my second 100 of the year. I can't really be mad at that. I felt like I had a really good dry phase. I felt like I got on top of myself extremely well. So I'm going to take those as wins, and we're just going to go back to Coach B and say, hey, this is just what we got to fix.
Were you running it like a prelim, or were you running that like a final?
No, I was running that like a final. I don't see any reason to come out here right now. I mean, I'm only going to have 1 round in the 100, 2 rounds in the 200. I'm in plenty shape, you know, in terms of endurance-wise and rest and recovery. So there's no reason to really back off in my head.
So you're not going to run the 200 final?
No, I ain't planning on running the 200
3
final.
rounds of the 200.
Well, 2, yeah, because there's...
Oh,
yeah,
because it's only Sunday now.
Sure.
Well, that helps.
It does.
In terms of, I'm really interested to hear, like, we got collegians out here, we have high schoolers out here. That was once you, a high schooler racing against all these pros. What's some advice you have for some of the younger guys out here?
I mean, do they even need my advice? They doing their own thing. They winning, they taking names. They're in their own bags, you know. So you just keep doing with them. Don't put any pressure on yourself. You know, give your time to develop and just keep having fun.
I mean, you said that they don't need your advice, but it is difficult out here as they're running 9/8. Yeah, like you said, racing against people that they look up to. So I mean, to not get so caught up in the mix, what do you say to them?
I mean, there's of course always like these quick quotes that you could like give them, but at the same time, if you don't diagnose it or like break it down, it's kind of just random chatter that an old head gives you. Like, oh yeah, keep your head down. Like, at the end of the day, what does that really mean? Like, they can interpret that anyway. So yeah, I could, you know, give little sayings, but I feel like it's more detrimental to try and just give a quick quote and then have them try to break it down in their mind, be like, what the heck did that mean? Rather than if, you know, we end up talking and we having a good conversation, then, you know, that's where I could really give some knowledge.
Now, this time last year, you were in Paris, you were getting ready to do your thing. How's your life changed since then?
Yeah. That's
the biggest change.
The biggest change? I'd say how many doors open, to be honest. A lot of the times where I would have like questions for my agent of how do we get this done, it's now people are coming to us like, oh, we want to do this. And it's like, oh, okay, now there's so many things that are coming to the table that we got to be strategic in saying what we're saying yes to. And that's kind of hard when you've been told no so many times, and now you got to say no to somebody else when you really want to try and get your hands on as many things as possible.
And I just wanted to get your thoughts about the fact that 100 is not being shown on TV. We've spoken in the past about frustration with the way sports marketing. A year after this great night for US track and field, the Olympics with etc. How frustrating is that?
It's not very surprising. Amateur sport, amateur management, amateur results. Just leave it at that.
No, I know you didn't run any of the Grand Slam track meets, but you have offered your opinion on the series a little bit on your podcast. So I'm curious, like, what was your reaction when they canceled the LA meet, and also just the financial difficulties the league's dealing with? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think I said it on my podcast. Everything came true, unfortunately. There's not much more to be said.
How does the game change? You were talking about all these opportunities now. You this what you set out. How does that change for you mentally?
Yeah.
Dealing with it all.
Again, it's to a situation where it's like, okay, you want to do so much, but again, you have to keep the main thing. So saying like I got offered to go to the Esports World Championship. They were gonna fly me out and pay for me to be there. I'm like, I would have came for free, you know. And you know, you go out to the crowd, wave to the crowd. You know, they're having a League of Legends championship there as well. And I'm like, dang, you know, I really want to go. But at the same time, it's literally in the middle of this meet and Poland Diamond League. I was like, well, I need to go to Poland Diamond League. I don't need to go to the Esports World Championship because that's not going to feed the end goal, which is winning more world championships, which is the reason that everybody wants to invite me to anywhere.
Was that a tough lesson to learn? Did you try to do it all at any point?
I wouldn't say that I tried to do it all. I would say that I was starting to eat more than I necessarily needed to, but quickly, rebranded, reassessed, and said, hey, this is too much.
How long did it take for you to get the Monaco Diamond League, right? You got your production company sponsored in terms of that race. How long was that of a process of that specific thing happening?
The bibs specifically?
Yeah, the bibs.
That wasn't, well, ever since, they offered to have me. We had kind of like made an agreement that I would come back because unfortunately I wasn't able to make it last year and I wanted to. So I was like, hey, I'll make it this year. And it was a situation where, going back and forth, it was like, okay, we couldn't really have as much financial as they wanted to. So it was like, okay, well, let's make a deal, let's give me capital over what more I can do. And that's, in the position I'm in, I'm very financially blessed to be able to say, hey, I can pick and choose the track meets I want to go to. So if, you can't reach my bottom line, let's find a new way to do a deal. And that's where we came up with the idea of, hey, I got a new production company. I need to prove the power of it. And when we came off of it the next day, they were saying, hey, we're in France, and 500 plus people alone in France saw that moment in time, that 200. So that means that everybody saw the bib, everybody saw it around the track, and that only proves that going back to companies saying, hey, you want to get with us, this is the power that we have, this is the outreach that we have. And again, that's when we can go back and say, hey, you want to be a partner with me, we'll get you in the track and field. And now we're bringing more eyeballs to the sport. Not only that, we bring more deals. Again, it's all a well-rounded way to just put more power behind what we're doing.
You've seen star athletes enough to know some people make it and they lose their edge. How do you keep yours?
Reinventing, constantly reinventing myself. Instead of being like, okay, yeah, I did this, it's like, all right, what's going to be the next thing that I'm going to do? In like 2022, it's like, all right, we're going after the, double champion. Like, let's be double 200 meter champion. I was having a great year. I knew I was going to run fast, really putting that emphasis on it. And then going into 2023, all right, I've done as much as I can really in the 200. It's time to bring in the 100. Reinventing myself on that side. Then it's like, okay, well, now I need the Olympic gold. Reinventing myself there. Now we're in 2025. It's like, okay, what's the next thing? Well, nobody's been able to go world champion, Olympics world championship win in the 100. Let's be the first. And I don't think anybody's done the quadruple in the 4 or in the 200. So let's be the first. So again, it's like reinventing, constantly finding that next motivation. And sometimes it's very hard, but that's when you got to take a second, reevaluate, get calm, get quiet, and then find yourself and know what direction you're going to head in.
Was it hard for you to find that motivation this year? And how do you feel like the motivation is at right now?
Definitely hard this year. It was pretty hard. At first it was constantly, again, when I was saying, biting off more than you can chew, a lot of on the table. And we just taking chunks. It's like, okay, what am I really doing this for? What is this motivating? All these opportunities, but what direction are we actually heading in? There's just so many avenues that we were going in. It's like, we got to choose one instead of just saying, it's here, let's take it. And then reassessing, okay, this is why I'm doing it. This is what, I want. And then being okay, again, with myself. And, there's also, I kind of like broke away from social media completely and just being completely alone. So it was funny when after the 200 meters in Monaco, everybody's texting me like, oh, great job. You showed them. I'm like, who's them? Again, re-finding myself to be able to have that motivation, reinvent myself so I can come to the season, clear head, clear motivation, knowing what I want to do and knowing how I want to behave.
When did you find that?
At the end of June. So it was a long process. I'd say it started like right after indoor. And then, right after June is when I found it.
The same qualities that got you here, that they were while you were here. The same qualities that got you to this pinnacle. Are they good enough to keep you here, or do you got to dig deeper into something else?
They're good enough to add to the toolbox. I'd say that sometimes you're going to need a new tool. Being okay saying that you might need a new tool, but then again, looking and see, hey, I got each of these tools. Let me see if these work first before saying, okay, I need a new one.
Do you know, given what happened in Tokyo in the Olympics in 21, how much of a motivation is it?
So I heard exactly what Noah Lyles had to say, and he had an impressive win, 10.05 in the 100 meters. And as you heard him say, he's going to run 2 races in the 200 at these championships, trials, and then he's going to go to Japan and handle his business there. So, he's just trying to get loose. He said it was his second 100 of the year. So, you know, how I go, man. He's just trying to get his body right. Just kind of how a lot of the other athletes that really don't need to run the whole year are doing. They're just trying to get right, get some races under their belt so they can get prepared for these championships that's coming up soon. So excited for him. Great run, and we'll see how everything plays out moving forward. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel.